Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo, so keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Yo, what's going on? It is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. It is 11:07. I need to go to bed. At the time of this recording, I've only uploaded 767, episode 767. This is episode, I think it's 775. So I'm quite a ways behind because I'm definitely not going to upload all of them tonight. So that means tomorrow it's going to be 776, which means they're going to have to upload 9. Yeah, I'm going to have to upload 9. Damn, dude. I just get so behind. Honestly, I kind of like not having to worry about it. I can just record and piece the fuck out, because the thing that is the most tedious, which is why there is even a delay in the first place, is when I record a show, it's so easy to copy the transcript, paste it, generate the summary in ChatGPT and things like that. But what sucks is extracting the file from voice memos, because you can't, for some reason, my shit is glitched or it doesn't work, because since I updated my MacBook to whatever the newest Mac OS is, Mac OS, whatever. Because what I used to be able to do is right click and then click show in Finder, and then it would show the file in Finder, but it was a temporary file, so it's not something I can just search up. So I can't do that anymore. And what I do is I airdrop it from my phone to my MacBook, and then it's a permanent file. And so that's a pain in the ass. And then I have to drag and drop it, put it into Adobe Audition, and then line it up with the intro and the outro, then save it, and then wait a minute for it to render. And then I can put it into Podbean, schedule it for tomorrow at 2 a.m. That's what I always do. And then paste it, all that shit. It's tedious. I really don't want to do that. If I don't have to do it, I don't want to, but I have to. It's what I signed up for. I mean, what changed? I'm 775 episodes in, and now all of a sudden it's a pain in the ass. It's been the same exact thing the whole time. If anything, it's gotten easier. So it's just me being lazy, I guess. But it is tedious and it does suck ass. So anyway, so we need to do that. It's getting, I'm going to have to do 10 in one day. That sucks, but whatever. So anyway, today was a wonderful day. I got so much progress made on the Blade app. I got a lot of shit done for Mina. I got actually almost everything that he has asked of me done. Been staying up to try to get this done because I told him I'd get it done today. So it's done, thank goodness. I'm not scheduled to work for him tomorrow, which is cool. Everything's going well with Trey. We've got Karin working on some of these automations, which is cool. Communication with him has kind of been quiet lately because I believe he's just working on those automations. And I think he's a smart ass motherfucker, and he's figuring that out, which is great. And then I have been working on, I've been doing a little bit of FitBiz, not really. And then I've been working mainly on the Blade app. Of which there are so many cool features that we've got going on now, which is so cool. It's so exciting because I'm really crafting this into something that I believe could be a game changer for somebody. I think that I could build some culture around this because of what it resembles, what it represents, everything you can unlock, everything you can work toward. And for example, so what I'm really going for here is I want to make self-development something that is people strive for. People strive to be better for whatever their own reason is, but they strive to be better. They strive to push themselves. They strive to to become a better leader, to pursue their own personal level of excellence, to be more disciplined, to learn how to lead, to learn how to act, learn how to believe in themselves, learn how to build. And honestly, this is all for me. I want to do everything that I just said. I want to do. I want to be better at building and believing myself. I want to be better at leading my future family. I want to be better at leading my kids, my future teams. I want to be better at acting. I want to have all the accountability. I want to be better at discipline. I want to be better at executing at the highest level. I want to be better at pursuing excellence. And it just so happens that those words all begin with BLAD or E for blade. So that's kind of the idea, right? So I have put so much thought into this, and I thought, well, how can I make this something that people will go after? If not for, I've been toying around with this idea. I think that despite horrible things that have, I'm going to use a tragic example. So, despite horrible things happening in the world, if the result of those horrible things makes other things that wouldn't have happened because that horrible thing happened, if it makes these other things happen that are good, then is that bad thing really that bad? So what I mean is, let's say you and your family, you're driving down the road, you get into a horrific car accident, everybody makes it out except you, and you are paralyzed from the waist down, or even, I don't know, you lost both your legs to the knee or something like that. That's horrible. There's nothing cool about that. I mean, I'm not going to try to sit here and be like, oh, it's fine. Actually, if you look on the bright side. But there is a tremendous amount of good that can grow from that. And here's an example. I don't know who did it or what their name is. I can't remember, but this is actually a real life example. But somebody got into a horrific accident. I think it was because of drunk driving or something like that. So now they were able to tour every possible school that they could to give a talk about, or a presentation, or a demo, or whatever you want to call it, about why drinking and driving is stupid. And he was able to touch the audience and say, hey, I lost my brother, I lost my whatever it was, and really bring the audience to tears and really move them to hopefully inspire them, or even prevent them from ever drinking and driving. And if he even prevents one person from doing that, that's a life saved. That's multiple lives potentially saved. That's a tremendous amount of good. So even though a horrific thing happened, so much good can come from that. And at that point, you know what? Oh, that's funny. I want to restart the whole episode. So what I just said, it's all true. I believe in 100%. But that's actually not what I was going for. What I was trying to say was that your motive, I don't think your motive to do a good thing or to be better or to whatever, I don't think that matters, as long as the outcome of you doing is good. So that's what I was going for. So kind of related, kind of absolutely not. But anyway, I don't give a fuck. We're going to keep it in. The motive to be better, no matter what, I don't think the motive matters. I mean, I don't want somebody to clip that and be like, oh, he thinks it's okay to, I don't know. But I don't think the motive matters if the outcome of what you're doing is a net positive, good outcome, win-win for everybody. I just don't think that there's a bad motive. I don't think bad motives exist if the outcome is good. So that's what I meant to say. So what I mean by that is, if you're trying to compete with people on a leaderboard to get the most amount of, or to have the highest streak of taking an ice bath without missing a day, because you want to compete with other people who are also doing it, I think that's perfectly fine. I just think that's, I don't know. You're competing with other people, or you're trying to remain on the same rank as them or something. And because you're trying to do that, you're taking an ice bath, and that has a plethora of health benefits. And so you might be doing it, quote, for the wrong reasons, quote, but the outcome of you doing it for the wrong reasons is a net positive. Same thing with working out. You may want to keep your streak up, or you may want to work out just because all your friends are doing it and they're on a streak of 50, or they just completed a blade and they have a certain rank, or they have a certain title. If you want to just go after that title or that rank or whatever you want to call it, but you don't necessarily want to work out or whatever the case may be, but you do work out because you want the status and the ranks and the medals and the accolades. That's a fucking great thing. And so I just wonder if we can actually make that real life where people can just do something that's really hard for them and see that there are a lot of other people that are also doing that. And then it kind of creates some kind of competitive drive for them to perform better than the other people and try to push themselves more. And at that point, it almost becomes an addiction, something that they want to force themselves to do, because if they fail, then people will see them fail. They will. It's an accountability factor when you make this shit public. All this stuff. So the more that I think about this stuff, the more that I just get absolutely stoked about, because I need this. I need this whole system. This is what I need. This would benefit me greatly. And at the end of the day, you can do all this with a paper and a pen. You just write down what you're trying to do and just check it off with a tally mark. It really is that simple. And it really is that simple for everything that we do. I mean, you don't need the fanciest softwares. You can just use paper, pen. Obviously, there's a lot of things software can do it's very nice and fast and whatever else. But shit, just so much you can do that I think we just discard because it's inconvenient or it's too tedious or whatever. I'm sitting here bitching about uploading a podcast to the internet for billions of people to hear, and I can do that in 20 minutes. That's crazy. I can let the whole world hear my voice in 20 minutes or less. It's insane. And I'm bitching about it, But anyway, so yeah, I have just worked on everything, and I love how this is turning out. So, and again, the cool thing about this is I can just put it on the App Store, get it all approved, get all that shit, and then you can download it yourself. Whoever you are listening, you can download the shit. I mean, not right now, but it's very cool because we got 3 pages now. I guess we got more than that. We got 3 tabs on the apps. We have the blades list, which I'm trying to define what these things are. So what is a blade? What is a task? What is a medal? What is an achievement? All these things. I feel like a blade would be a bundle of tasks, and then we have these individual tasks, but I want to give them a different name that's not tasks. I'd rather it be something that's a little bit cooler, like blade. But whatever, we'll get there. And so we have all these settings. It's very intuitive to the user, I believe. I mean, it's just enable what you want, disable what you don't want. It's completely customizable to you, rather than having a dashboard full of a whole bunch of shit you don't give a fuck about. You can do that, and you can do that in 8 buttons. So very cool. There's a top left button, it's a little plus icon. You can create a blade or a task, whatever. And then we have settings at the top right, which is cool because it saves your profile photo, image, last name, first name, email, password, all that stuff. Time zone, day ends, reminders, all that stuff. Very cool. I mean, this sounds like basic shit, but the fact that I created it, it's very cool. Then we have stats. This is a pain in the ass to build today. I don't know if I like it as much as I thought I did, but it's fine. And so it shows a 3-month view at all times, and you can scroll back and forth to see old months and upcoming months, things like that, which is very cool. You can also see the, all the completed days, past days, all that stuff, which is very cool. And then there's just so much variation and logic that needs to be accounted for with all this. Because, for example, we have a calendar view. And so think about 91 little squares in a 21 by 5 grid. Each one of those squares represents a day. If it's orange, it means it's checked off and you completed it. If it's a white X, it means you missed it. Very straightforward. But what if you have a task that you are trying to do once a week? Well, how does that work? Seems a little bit more complicated, but it's pretty simple. Just no white X's for the week, and unless you end the week without a single completion, then the whole week would be an X, right? Okay, cool. What about a month? Okay, easy, same thing. What about a quarter? Okay, same thing. What about a year? Okay, same thing. But what about if you are doing something more than one time in a day? Well, if it's only 2 times, you could probably just cut the box in half, no problem. What if it's 3 times? Okay, you could probably divide the box into 3, and so when you complete it, it fills the box up 33%. and then 4, you can divide it by 4. And when you get to 5, it's a little bit choppy. 6, more choppy. You can't really see those because the boxes are so small. And I feel like this is a very rare case, but what if somebody is doing something and they want to do it 100 times a day, like sending a DM or doing a call? What if they want to do 100 a day? How do they do that? And how does it show up if they didn't get 100? What if they got 99? What would that look like? Would it have to be a white X? Would it show 99 fractions or 99 pieces of the box? I mean, we're talking about the same size as the door on the house on the Facebook home icon in the app itself. That's how big these little boxes are. So how are you going to divide that by 99, So I'm trying to think about that. And then I'm also trying to think about, well, how does it work if, the user wants to do something that's, I'm not sure, 5 times every 6 days. Very weird frequency. Well, it's going to have to show it's going to have to know every 5 days or whatever. I just said every 6 days to count as a period of time. And if they don't finish the task by the end of that period of time, then it marks them all as X's. But if they got it done one time, then it should be a check mark. But from that point, from the check mark point, it shouldn't reset. It should still follow the rule of the time frame. But what if they get more check marks? How does that work? So I have to think through all these thing, I don't know what you call them, just the logic of how things work, what things should do. And it's fun. It's a puzzle. I love it. But also it's very stressful because this is a real project. This is a real thing. And I don't want to fuck it up. There's a real end user that's going to use this. And I want to make it simple. I want to make it easy to understand. And I know that these are really rare one-off cases. But for that, I mean, they're usually habit trackers and things like that. They have once a week, once a month, yearly. And that's pretty much it. You can do multiple times a week and things like that, but there's no true customization of I only want to do this every 15th Friday of the year. I only ever want to do this on days that end in 4 or 6. I want to do these on the 50th day of the year, the 100th day of the year, the 150th day of the year, 200, 250, 350. There's people like that exist out there, and they probably don't have an app for them because nobody thinks about this stuff because it never exists, and I never see this level of detailed customization with anything ever. And so let me pioneer the fucking crazy horse shit that nobody's going to use, because there are going to be people who use it. So that's my belief. I mean, I'm going to use it, So anyway, I just want to make sure that all of that stuff can be done and is included. However, the problem with that is that the more detailed I get with these frequencies and customizations and things like that, the more I have to do that with everything else that is downstream from that feature. So if I have a task that I can complete 11 times every 3 days, that's what's required for some reason, then I'm going to need a way to measure that exact frequency. There needs to be a way to also bundle up all the different frequencies in that same one. So, I mean, there's an infinite number of ways that I could check a task off. I mean, it is infinite, but it's probably, it's never going to be infinite. I mean, you're never going to have somebody want to check off 200,000 checks every 50 days. I mean, maybe, actually. I don't know, maybe you could do some team completions. That's an idea. A team blade or a collaborative blade where you both. Oh, that's an idea. Let me write that down. Hold on. Collaborative blade. So I have a Google Sheet or Google Doc going right now. I'm brain dumping everything. Collaborative blade where both people's completions work toward the same task/blade. See, that's interesting. Just like that, we have a whole new concept of an idea that probably isn't that well known or used, or maybe it's not used at all. You and I are trying to run 100 miles between the both of us. We're working as a team. We want to make sure we hit 100 by the end of the month. We can contribute to that by running and logging what we run. Bada bang. It's very cool. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of different ideas right here that I just write down. So anyway, let's go back to what I was saying. So we have these calendars. And I was trying to work on that today, and I would say I got the most of it done. And what I need to do is have it generate me a bunch of random stats or a bunch of random tasks with different frequencies, and just to see how it looks, make sure everything works the correct way, and just go from there. When I initially generated all of this stuff with the AI prompt, it made a lot of stuff in here that I would say for a normal app is great. I mean, it has total tasks, active streaks, how many this week, my average streak, things like that. That's cool. But it's so the same as everything else. So I'm going to revamp that, make it different, make it better, and we'll go from there. But I got to delete that stuff. There's some cool stuff. It says current streak, long streak this week for each individual task, and then a completion rate, which is cool. It's for the week. But you don't need that if you're doing it once a week. So there by default, we'd have to revamp the whole thing. And what if it's once a month? The completion rate, I'm doing it once a month, it's always going to say 100% if I do it early on in the month. If I have 30 days to do it, I don't need to see that. It's useless information. Got to think through all that stuff. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but it's definitely something that I feel like is just not thought about. But anyway, here's the very, very cool stuff, and this is what I was getting at. So to the intro to this podcast, not the intro, but me starting talking about the accolades and the medals and things like that, I have a third tab now. It's called Achievements. I asked it to put a fist in the air holding a trophy as the icon. And what it did is it put a high five emoji. So just a hand with a high five. And rather than trying to take a shit and take a shit, rather than losing my shit, I don't know what I was going to say, losing my shit, trying to make that happen and get the icon right. Right now it's just a high five, just 5, and then achievements. And what I did was I went into ChatGPT. I talked about it yesterday, but I had these icons generated. I got one that I actually thought was cool that will definitely be used. And I just had it display the current rank as that image just to see what it would look like. And it looks fucking sick. I'm using it on my phone as well. I've got the PNG file uploaded. It's badass. So what I've come up with is, if you've ever played Call of Duty, you'll grasp this immediately, especially Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, things like that. But if you don't, then you probably won't have any idea. Well, I guess really any Call of Duty, but specifically those ones. So we have ranks. So you click on the rank. So how it looks is there's current rank and then a big image of your rank icon, which is like a prestige emblem. And then we have 4 buttons. So we have the first button is ranks. And then you look at the bottom and it has 20 ranks, but you can only see one of them because you're rank 1, and everything else below that has a circle with a lock on it, meaning you can't see it. And then there's a button that says requirements. If you click on requirements, it says rank 2 requirements coming soon. So that's for me to fill in. And that will show you all the ranks you can achieve, what's needed to achieve them, the logo that you get, what you unlock with it, things like that. And I actually got to write that down. That's genius. Hold on. Make the ranks requirements also show what is unlocked by achieving this. Okay, cool. And anyway, so that's the rank. So you can see down the line how many ranks there are, what you need to do for each one. It's not going to show the logo. I think there's some surprise and excitement factor in there. The next button is themes. So every time you rank up, you get a different theme. And right now it's just a color. So right now the whole app is this dark onyx color with this gray charcoal, and then the whites are a little off-white like a platinum, and then there's this bright tomato orange that is the accent or the main theme. That's the main color. When you get rank 2, you actually get the rank 2 color unlocked, which is the same color as the icon, the rank, the rank 2 icon. Oh my hell, it's not even saving. Oh yeah, there we go. So weird, it just lags a little bit. Anyway, so you get the other color. Sorry, I'm trying not to hiccup right now. I guess I got shit. Anyway, you get the second color, and when you do that, it replaces all the orange with the second color, which is very cool. It just kind of spices everything up quite a bit, and it just changes the look, the feel. But with the sense of earning, it is a new color because you earned it. It's not just a setting where you can just choose any color you want. You earned this, and it's as dumb as a color. But if you ever take screenshots, if you ever post things, on your profile, it's definitely going to be that color, whatever you choose. So when people visit it or when people leave a comment or whatever, they're going to see that you have that color unlocked, just a status thing. So how the fuck does he have that color? How do I get it? Kind of thing, right? And then that's the whole idea there. Then we have medals. Now this one is something I'm stoked about because this takes, I think, the self-development, personal excellence, mental toughness, discipline, whatever you want to call it, to a different level, provided we can make this work. So we have a 3 by, we'll just say 100 grid, 3 by 100 grid of circles. They have a lock on each of them. Below it says unlock. So you can click unlock and it says how to unlock this medal. You can do that for every single one. And each of these medals will be unlocked or achieved or whatever by knowingly or unknowingly doing something with a blade or a task with a certain number or whatever. Now, here's what I mean. So, let's see, where did I see this? Okay, well, here's some hidden ideas for medals. So the idea with a medal is you can click on the little image. It won't show you the image, but it will say how to unlock it. So it's like it's a challenge or something to work toward, so you can unlock it and try to collect them all, kind of thing. So you click on it. It says, hey, you need to do a task 100 days in a row to unlock this. Any task. So cool. Do a task 100 days in a row, you unlock this. That's a lot of status right there. You did something for 100 days in a row. Not a lot of people will ever do that ever in their life. So the fact that you did that with something, you're going to get this medal. So that's the idea. Then there's the hidden medal, which says, which you click on the icon and it doesn't show you or tell you what it is. It just says continue working toward blades or something to unlock this. And the way that you would unlock it is just by doing whatever you're doing. But these are going to be rare things, such as fail a task after a 50-day streak and own it. And so this would be called the integrity model, the integrity medal, because you were past day 50 and you failed and you owned it. That's some good shit. I mean, like I say this every time, but if you fail 75 hard and you own it and you restart, I think there's almost more benefit in doing that than completing the program first try. I really do. Because there's so much integrity, there's so much humility that comes from, fuck, I failed, I have to restart, and actually restarting and then completing. There's so much in that. And so, yeah, you would fail a task after a 50-day streak and you get the integrity medal. But they wouldn't know that. They would just fail and they would say, fuck, but then they would be awarded a medal for their integrity, kind of reinforcing the fact that they own their shit. And then I have another idea of the same exact thing, but a 100-day streak, which would be kind of the idea with these medals and accolades and things like that is that these status symbols and things like that are a way for you to show who the fuck you are. I mean, we have that for the military. You do certain things in the military, achieve certain ranks. You wear it on your shoulder, and you walk into a room. People know what the fuck you're about. They see the badges, what you've accomplished, things like that. It's immediate. They know that you are X, Y, or Z, just right off the bat, right? Then we have one that is fail a task on the last day of your goal / blade and own it. So that would be the integrity master. So whatever it is you're going for, if your goal was to do something 90 days in a row and you failed on day 90, that would be the ultimate integrity thing. So I might have to make that the last 5 days or something like that. I feel like the likelihood of somebody doing or failing something on the last day is just so minuscule. I feel like the last day you are fired up and you are almost paying so much attention to all the details. I feel like it would have to be, for example, I hear a lot of people failed 75 hard on day 74. It's not the last day. 75 is the last day. Last day would be, or the second to last day would be 74. So I wonder if it would have to be a last 5 days or something. I don't know. And then we have another one that I thought of, which was Mamba mentality. So 81 days straight of any task. That's it. And if you don't know why 81 and Kobe are, correlated there, I don't know what to tell you. But that's the idea. Then we have some other ideas which they're not hidden, so it's 100 Club. Achieve 100 total completions between 3 tasks. So not 100 total completions, period, 100 between 3 of the same task. So maybe it's read 10 pages, maybe it's meditate for 20 minutes, maybe it's go for a mile walk, whatever it is. Between those 3, you have to have 100 total. So, matter of fact, I don't know how that would work, how you would categorize, because you could just take the 3 highest. Maybe it would just be the 3 highest. I don't know. Yeah, I think it would. I think it would be automatic like that. And then we have the 500 Club, so achieve 500 total completions between 3 tasks. 1,000 Club, achieve 1,000 total completions between 3 tasks. So here's the thought process behind these numbers. If you have 3 tasks and you're going to do it 1,000 times total, that's almost a minimum of a year to accomplish, and you're doing all of those for a year. So for example, if it's I just want to speak fast. If it's read, write, and drink water, you want to do that every single day. It's going to take you 334 days to get that. That's a long time to be doing those 3 things every single day. And so for that reason, you enter the 1,000 Club. I almost said 1,000 pound club, but that's the idea. 1,000 pound club. You have your 3 main lifts and you reach 1,000 pounds between all 3 of them. That's the inspiration there. And then we have 100 Club, 500 Club, 1,000 Club Junior. And I don't know, I just write it down. I'm just getting in the habit of writing it down. And if it's asked, then no worries, but I wrote it down. So 100 Club Junior. So achieve 100 total completions between 6 tasks. Same thing with 500 and 1,000. It's 6 tasks, not 3. So you can achieve these things with half the time, in half the time. So if it's read, write, drink water, shower, workout, run, I don't know. For 1,000, you'd only have to do that. What would that be? 180 or 167 days, something like that. I don't know. So you could get that done in a little less than half a year. You could join the 1,000 Club Junior. I don't know. So I'm just writing these down. And then I have these. I'm going to change the name. I really just wrote it down, so I'll preface it with that. But waterlogged. That's the name of the medal. Might be some kind of tsunami. Pretty badass. Achieve 365 total days in drinking 1 gallon of water per day. So you do that, you get the waterlogged medal. Not a lot of people will have that. That's pretty tough shit right there. These are supposed to be hard to get. They're supposed to be very fucking brutal. That's the whole idea. Then we have airbender. We have airbender, firebender, earthbender, and waterbender. If you don't get the reference, I don't know what to tell you. Achieve 365 total days in 20 minutes of meditation per day. That's airbender. For firebender, we have 365 total days in the sauna, meaning, you're in there for 10 minutes or whatever it is. I don't know what the healthy amount is for sauna, so don't quote me. I don't give advice on that shit. And then earthbender, achieve 365 total days walking 20 minutes per day. Waterbender, achieve 365 total days taking a 5-minute cold shower. I don't know. I just pulled these out of my ass just to write them down to get them out of my head. So, 20 minutes per day of walking ain't shit. But I'll tell you what, when it's midnight or 11:41 p.m. on December 2nd, 2025, or something like that, and you haven't walked, the last thing you want to do is go out and say, oh yeah, I committed to walking 100 minutes a day, and you have to go walk 100 minutes. Yeah, that fucking blows. You know, with some of these, I feel like you really need to think long term. What can I stick to for a full year? Or what can I push myself to do for a full year? Because, I mean, probably not going to be able to stick to a 3 hour workout every day for a full year. You know, probably not. I don't want to be that guy that will tell you no, but I mean, I don't know, probably not. But, 20 minutes meditation per day, anybody can do that. Drink a gallon of water per day, it's tough, but anybody can do that. 5 minute cold shower, everybody can do that. You better shower anyway, so it doesn't take any extra effort to turn your hand on the nozzle. That's one of those things that takes virtually no effort at all. Matter of fact, probably saves water, probably saves time, probably saves you money. So, I don't know, stuff like that. And anyway, all of these would take up a medal within the page, and it would be something that you could work toward always. And the cool thing about this is it's all public, If you want to get these medals, you have to put your shit on public. You have to, I mean, that's the vision. If you want to compete and be on the leaderboard, you want to achieve these things, you got to be on public. That's so that other people can see what you're doing. They can see when you fail. They can see what your tasks are. They can see what your blades are. They can see when you fail. They can see when you try to cheat. It's all public. And so, it really just makes you want to go after all these different medals so that you can show people that, yeah, I did this. Here's proof. And a lot of this is on the honor system, but I'm trying to be real here. If somebody is paying for the app, let's just say it's $10 a month. I don't know. I almost want to make it 20 or 30, but because this is some cool shit. But if somebody's paying $10 a month and they do that for 12 months, they gave me $120, and they are lying. If they lied the whole time and said that they took a 5 minute cold shower every day for a full year, I mean, I guess, yeah, they'd be rank 1 on the leaderboard, but also their profile would be public. Social media would be there. Ideally, you can see their name. You can click on it. You could visit. There's a lot of social pressure to not be a piece of shit. And if they are being a piece of shit, and I guess the community thinks they are, then maybe we'll take some administrative action. I don't know. But anyway, the idea is that even if somebody, I just don't think people would do that. Spend $120, $10 a month to lie for no reason, because if they put their real name and their real social and their social media, let me clarify, then people will know that they are full of shit. But if they don't put their real stuff and their fake stuff, then they're just paying me money for nobody to know who's really got a 100 or 365 day streak, which is so funny. So at the end of the day, I guess I get a paying customer. I don't know. That's why it wouldn't be free. And so that's kind of the basis of the honor system. So yeah, you could lie. You absolutely could. And anybody can. But the idea is that it's the kind of app that would be the honor system integrity making. Nobody's going to know except you. You may as well do it right kind of thing. And that's kind of how 75 hard was. So anyway, and then we have ranks, themes, medals. That's what I just talked about. We have a record book. So this will show you your highest streak ever, the amount of tasks you've completed, the amount of blades you completed, assuming that they're different, the most failed task, the most failed blade, if you're doing two different things, whatever, most tasks completed in one day, most tasks completed in 1 week, most tasks completed in 1 month, quarter, year, most tasks failed in a day, failed week, month, quarter, year, highest streak of 0 fails, so for the day, and that's going to be automatically calculated so you can see your records. And all the while you have the current rank icon at the very top, in which I think I want to make it so you can change the app icon to the rank, just kind of as a reminder that you're a badass. So I don't know. Anyway, that is the idea. I plan to work more on the stats tomorrow. I would love to work on making kind of a profile and adding a friend system or whatever you want to call it to this, so that we can make profiles and almost a mini social media I don't even want to call it a social media, just a platform where people can see other people kicking fucking ass, and those people can communicate with each other about that one specific thing. So if we have somebody who's doing an ice bath and they're on day 500, the people on day 100 and 200 and shit like that probably going to want to talk to the 500 guy because that's some boss shit. Or even the people who are meditating for 20 minutes a day and they've been doing it for 60 days. The people who are just starting are probably going to want to know, hey, is it worth it? Have you noticed anything? What's going on? And they're talking directly to people who have been doing the thing for however long. And it's evident because it shows on the profile how long they've been doing it. It shows their history. It shows, and you could fact check them really quick. And if they're full of shit, then, we'll just take it from there. But I just don't know why anybody would pay money per month to lie. And at that point, they probably wouldn't be using their real name. So like I said, they would be getting recognition not to their name or to them as a person, but to their fake persona, and also paying money to do it. So I don't know. I also had this idea of when somebody... I almost want to make these medals real life, and when... I don't know what I'm thinking. I would love to be able to give back. So, when once a month I just give away $5,000 or whatever. And obviously that comes from people who are paying. I don't know. I'm just thinking so long term with this stuff. But yeah, that's the app so far. And it's actually nice. It actually looks really professional. I have a simulator on my computer, so I'm using and been editing and stuff on my computer. But I have the app on my phone, and it's pretty cool because I have an icon on it and everything like that. And so I click on it, it opens up, and it looks pretty professional. Everything looks pretty nice. There's a lot to be done for sure, but this has come along so quick. Everything is very nice, and I'm very pleased with how things are going. It's so addicting. It is so much fun. I've made so much progress. It's crazy. So going to continue on tomorrow. I hate stopping because now I have to try to pick up where I left off tomorrow, and that's always a pain in the ass, but it's all good. I meant to make the show 10 minutes, but here we are, 41 minutes, 33 seconds in. So let's go ahead and end the show so I can go to sleep. It's Tuesday, December 2nd, 11:48 p.m., 2025. Oh, you know what? I actually ran 3 miles as well. I did it in 33:24, I believe. 33:21? I don't know. Slow as shit, but we did it. It was 30 degrees outside, but I felt like a boss. And I wanted to quit multiple times, but I didn't, and I'm proud. So, wanted to share that. We'll get faster, we'll get better. But anyway, now that's the show. So thank you guys for listening. I'll talk